Poundcake and Pat Butler, and each week we just throw in stuff we want. I'm kind of all over the place. I can always count on Corey to get kind of, not glam stuff, because he does a show on Sunday mornings called Hair of the Dog, which is awesome, that does all that stuff. Pat Butler, though, will kind of throw in more sludgy, doomy stuff. So we're all coming from kind of different perspectives, and you put it all together. You throw in some local music, which we do. Local music from a band called Vulton this weekend. And then brand new metal and classic stuff. So brand new metal from Code Orange this weekend, from Pittsburgh. Brand new stuff from Pupil Slicer. I know how much Mary loves them.
Mm-hmm. No, my cup of tea is sitting outside in the Duncan Lounge right now.
Who's that?
Corey Kent. He's opening for Jason Aldean tonight, and he's doing a little performance, a little acoustic performance.
Oh, is Jason Aldean going to do like, oh, try to murder us, we'll murder you first song?
Jason Aldean is in Cleveland tonight?
Yeah, he's in a Blossom.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Why would you? You don't listen to that music.
No, but we've been talking about Jason Aldean a lot because of this dumb video.
He might get hot tonight. I don't know.
Pulled off CMT and. So anyway, 2 hours to midnight is your metal show. Saturday night, usually at 10, but if the game goes long, it'll be immediately after, and you can always request whatever you like at 2htm@wmms.com. No, I didn't know that Jason Aldean was in town tonight.
Yeah, his opener's out here. He's got a #1 song right now. It's called Wild As Her, Corey Kent. It's good. He's really good. He was, as I was walking in, I only got to catch like the little end of him playing one of his songs called Gold. That's another good one. And he sounds great.
Room.
I like him. He sounds good.
But I mean, why isn't he in the Duncan room?
Because people can't fit in there.
Put them all in there. It's Duncan Sound Studio.
Well,
we got
them
in there.
They're building out a whole performance studio for us back there. They're not, for now, there's
the temporary one. Put them in the little one.
No. The mini fridge takes up most of the space in that tiny little room.
Well, not only that, but a lot of artists have their own deals, and they can't necessarily stand in front of a giant Duncan sign. Right. You know what I mean? So the Jason Aldean thing, it'll blow over, but it's got some legs to it because of this song he released called Try That in a Small Town. Mm-hmm. He had to come out and literally say, it's not a pro-lynching song, because I guess the video has got a bunch of scenes in it that people didn't really care for. A friend of mine, actually, a colleague from a long time ago, is the VP of programming over at CMT. She offered me a job. She came from radio. She offered me a job in Atlanta many, many years ago. And she's one of the bigwigs over at CMT. And she's like, we pulled the video because there was a lot of backlash against it. First the song, then the video.
And that's backlash coming from people like that watch
fans
CMT.
Of CMT. Yeah. He had to come out and say that it's silly. If you haven't heard the song, it's boilerplate standard issue country music. I still am not quite sure what has got everyone's hackles up about it, because it's nothing, I think, on its face that would drive people crazy. It's him talking about basically the undertones are, there ain't no crime in small towns. You go to the city and you carjack people and you beat them up, and you can't do that in a small town.
I thought
which
this was
obviously is silly, but
I thought this was more of his response to because wasn't he the guy that was on stage in Vegas when that shooting happened?
That was Luke Bryan.
Oh, that was Luke Bryan?
I think Jason Aldean was there too. No, because the joke is that everywhere Jason Aldean goes, people get killed. I shouldn't say joke. I mean, that's it's dark humor, but I mean, it's.
Oh no, it was Jason Aldean.
Yeah,
right?
He was at that Highway 72 thing in Vegas.
My country music knowledge.
I'm a little distracted.
Where that guy was.
You're all infatuated with Corey.
The guy who's sitting out there right now, Corey Kent, is the absolute epitome of every dude who's ever ruined my life. Every friend looks exactly like him.
That's why she's attracted to him.
Shorter, stocky.
Got
the country
ginger?
boots.
Ginger,
no,
yeah.
He's not. He's not even stocky. He's like got pretty good muscle tone, but he's also got a really good voice. So I can hear him kind of starting to play. I'm like, eh.
The other guys that ruined your life had good voices?
No, but I'm saying this one does.
Okay. Marry you, bitch.
No, that's Bill.
Get out of my house.
Big fat dumb bitch.
Climb out the window and don't forget your shoes.
So I did catch that fly on camera, by the way. I'm pretty proud of that.
Can you give him the good for you?
Oh, good for
It is
you.
good for me.
You feel better?
Hey, do you want me to not catch the flies in here? You want flies flying around in here, bothering us, spreading their diseases? No. That's why you have Quick Hands Bill catching them.
That's what the ladies call him.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jason Aldean thing, I
Quick
mean,
in the hands, quicker in the pants.
this is probably a song that he'll do on stage tonight, and everybody will go nuts. Because country music fans, you know, this isn't stuff that they care about. I mean, Morgan Wallen, remember that guy? He got
Yeah,
caught
N-word
throwing
guy.
the N-word around, and then the guy went to #1. I mean, these country stations dropped him for like a week just to pretend like they were paying attention to the outcry, put him right back on. But again, if you're a country artist, what's that?
They were like, we get it, we understand.
Well, but if you're country radio and your audience wants to hear the song, you're gonna play the song. I mean, that's what it is.
Here's what happened with Morgan Wallen is that video of him saying the N-word on that Ring doorbell came out on his ascent, right? So he's climbing. He only had like a couple hits out at that point. So this video goes crazy. A lot of people who had never heard of him before started to look him up. And then they're like, oh, damn, this guy's really good.
This
so
guy,
it was like,
we really like this racist.
not even really like this racist, but his music is very good. And otherwise, they wouldn't have looked him up, is what I'm saying. So a horrible situation. He's #1 everywhere now. That dude is selling out everywhere he goes. Not because he's racist, but because nobody would have heard of him.
No,
otherwise.
but it also didn't hurt him
That's
with
what I'm
that
saying.
audience, is
Oh,
the
no,
point.
we're
They
not
would
saying
have
that.
found him. I mean, they would have
Not
found
as
him.
quickly or in such big numbers, I don't think.
Well, maybe not.
But he's like the epitome of
But it
no
didn't hurt-
press is bad press.
Right, but it also didn't hurt him with the people who like that, whatever, bro country or whatever these guys are doing now.
Bicep country.
Sheryl Crow came out and said the whole thing was just lame. She said, I'm from a small town, and it's not the stuff that happens in a small town. It's just lame. Even people in small towns are sick of violence. She tweeted him about it. There's nothing small town or American about promoting violence. You should know that better than anyone about having survived a mass shooting. Because
But he's saying it wasn't
tried
even
that
in
in a small town, basically, about how he and his friends will shoot you if you try to take their guns. But again, this is nothing outside the box for that genre of music. You're playing to your audience, which is what every artist does to some degree. You know, if you feel like you're boxed in artistically, yeah, you're going to change it up. But even in country music, a lot of those old stereotypes are falling away, which is why I think this is a bigger deal than it might have been otherwise. Of course, it'll blow over. But there was a time where something like this wouldn't have even made the news cycle. But Nashville is changing a lot. And so you have kind of a new generation of artists who are kind of kicking the tires on stuff like this and going, that sucks, or that's lame. You know, guess what? Kid Rock's bar never stopped selling Bud Light. They've been selling it the whole time. Because all the fake outrage, even in country music, it's all part of the performance. People getting mad over something they didn't care about 5 minutes ago. Kid Rock never stopped selling Bud Light. So he's taking their money. He doesn't care. But a lot of the stereotypical stuff is changing. And a lot of the guys like Jason Aldean, you know, he's been around for a long time now, right? He's not like a new artist. So a lot of these guys have a good decade and a half under their belts. But there are more and more people in that music genre who call their colleagues out. Because you have a lot of kind of up-and-coming people who are very talented in country music, but they're not down with this kind of stuff. Like Jason Isbell and his hot wife and Margot Price and a lot of these kind of, you know, Maren Morris. A lot of them are female artists, by the way. Younger female artists who are like, yeah, I don't like the way dudes talk about this kind of stuff, you know, whether it's sexist stuff or whatever. But again, it's not going to, you know, Jason Aldean's not going to go broke. He probably sold out Blossom, didn't he?
Probably.
Yeah.
Who
Which is no shock. I mean,
Who did you say took the video down? Because it's up on Jason Aldean's YouTube and has 5.5 million views.
CMT, Country Music Television.
They don't play the music video on there.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Because I'm watching it and it's a lot of like B-roll of riots and stuff and people looting and breaking into buildings and screaming at cops.
Right.
That's all. I haven't seen anything that would remotely look like lynching.
No, but the undertone, it's very clear what the message is. People from the cities, a.k.a., try coming here and doing that. Good old boys killing you-know-who after...
Everyone in this video is white. They're showing white women
Well, they're not
going to
make
cops.
them. They're not going to make them black people rioting and screaming at cops. And of course, it's white women screaming at cops. They're going to jail for it for January 6th. All the back the blue dopes who were on video beating up cops. So yeah, since that happened in real life,
and also
they're probably going to put it in music videos now.
So his music video is these people that are rioting against police violence and systemic racism. No. We don't want that happening in our town.
You don't know what these riots are from, though. That's the thing. It's not like, hey, this is from the George Floyd riots. It doesn't label it.
I think
it's just videos of people rioting.
I think the reason that the video. Listen, the song's been out for it's been out since like the spring.
But the video just came out 6 days ago.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody was complaining about the song until the video. So I think CMT was like, yeah, at least for the time being, we're going to, again, I haven't talked to my friend over there, but I'm like, I imagine they were like, yeah, let's pull this for a second.
I'm actually really surprised about that.
Well, CMT, though, is like every other media streamer. They're part of a bigger conglomerate. So I'm sure it was a corporate decision from the top down. They're like, hey, just for now, pull this. It's not an independent thing, I don't think. So they're owned by somebody, and that somebody was probably like, hey, until this dies down, let's pull it. But it always goes back on, and I'm sure it'll go back on. Because if that's what the audience wants, there's no reason to not put it back on. I mean, you're supposed to be serving your audience. And first of all, when was the last time a video for a song got any attention?
Taylor Swift's all have like millions.
Yeah, but it's like kids on TikTok and Vivo and everything watching that crap. Jason Aldean, I don't think, has like 16-year-old fans. The courthouse that they're playing in front of was a famous lynching spot, and that's why people are getting upset.
Oh, I didn't know what the significance of that building was. It just, I didn't, it looks like a courthouse and they hung an American flag on it.
Yeah.
Why does he keep showing American flags burning? Why is he
That's
like that?
people setting. He's showing.
But
people
why is he
setting,
like that? Why is he putting it in his video?
He's showing what not to do. He's saying, "Look at these idiots setting the American flag on fire."
That's what he's doing. Oh, it looks like he's singing about setting the American flag on fire. That's what I get from
annoying.
him. He's annoying.
Well, listen, if they're dinging,
he's singing in front of a courthouse known historically for lynching people.
Well, here's the thing, though. Could it be that he's just historically ignorant?
That's right.
I mean,
they took down all the statues down there, so how's he supposed to know history?
Yeah. They took down all the Confederate traitors. Oh, I don't know. Well, what do you want? A lot of those fans love them some losers. So, Alan, there's a line going to round them all up with images of black people at BLM protests and riots. That's a lynching part. Well, again, I haven't seen the video.
He burns the flag a lot in it.
He burns the flag?
He's not burning anything.
He shows, I see.
Well, it's his video, so I imagine it's his messaging that he's showing people burning the flag. And he's like, this is what you should do with the flag.
But again, the message of try that in a small town. Small towns are changing too. And it's not overnight. And it's not like all those stereotypes go away. But there is a shift. And things like this that are just kind of random eruptions in pop culture, but they're going to become more pronounced. And, you're going to write your songs, but it's pretty boilerplate. I mean, until the video, I guess nobody was really paying that, because if you heard the song, you'd be like, yeah, okay. It's like 1,000 other songs. But I didn't realize he was at Blossom tonight. That guy you mentioned earlier, the guy I was talking about at the top of the show outside our window here punching himself in the head, you said he might have been mad because he didn't win the Powerball. He did not win the Powerball. I came home last night and Gwen was like, did you buy a Powerball ticket? I'm like, it's not even on my radar. No, I did not.
One person won $1 billion.
Downtown L.A. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if it was like a Skid Row homeless guy?
Might have been.
Who marched over to
made $2.
Yep.
From begging for the day and went and won $1 billion.
Went over to Las Palmitas and slap down a couple of Is it a $2 ticket for the Powerball?
It's $2 per play. Yes, you can play as many, but in $2 or $3 if you do the power play.
It could be the reverse Beverly Hillbillies, where some down on their luck poor person wins $1 billion and moves to the country and has a nice life.
That's not the reverse Beverly Hillbillies. That's the Beverly Hillbillies.
No, because they were in the
moved to the
country and they
city.
moved to the city.
Oh, I see what you mean.
He's saying they moved from Skid Row.
Yeah, they're going to move to
out
a small town.
They leave
where
LA.
you can burn the flag and no one bothers you.
You know that dude that won the last Powerball, right? He bought like 6 houses in LA. That dude out of nowhere. That young guy. He's like, yeah, I bought a $40 million house in the hills. I bought another one in the valley. He's just scooping up real estate in LA.
It's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, right there in downtown LA, which if you haven't been there recently, it's awful. But the ticket, worth an estimated $1.08 billion, is the 6th largest in U.S. history. And the winning ticket was sold in a little mini market there in downtown LA, right by the Water and Power Company. Final ticket sales pushed the jackpot beyond its earlier estimate of $1 billion to almost 1.1. So there you go. One person. They can either choose the total jackpot paid out in yearly increments or the one-time lump sum of $558 million.
Sold.
Sold.
I would do that.
I'll take it. Hey, Carrie, hello.
Hey, how are you?
What's going on, man?
You realize that in that video that Jason Aldean, that those are all actual news footage from whatever they're showing, the riots and all that other stuff. And yes, the church was from where they held lynchings, but going back before that, you know, all this whatever you call rap songs and the lyrics and that, and kill the cops and blah blah. You don't hear nothing about any of that stuff.
Because that happened.
But this, they're just pressing on this like there's no tomorrow.
Ice Cube got arrested on stage.
Yeah. It's kind of a false analogy a little bit, Carrie. I mean, the subtext of this video seems pretty clear. I mean, because if he was against rioting in general, he'd have pictures of the guys at Charlottesville. He'd have pictures of people, the Proud Boys rioting. So he's not against rioting. He's against a certain kind of rioting. And it's not real hard to figure out what kind he's talking about.
And he really likes burning that flag.
They're just, all I'm saying is it's all news footage.
Yeah.
So it's a real situation.
Right, real specific situation.
Right, he
dealing with people fighting for their.
Well, but Carrie, you're
rights.
right. I mean, he's not making it up, but that's the issue people have is he's being very selective with his concerns about what's happening in the United States.
Right.
The reason this stuff isn't happening in small towns is rural America's got like 2 black people in it. So yeah, if that's what he's trying to zero in on, then he's making it pretty clear. But again, thank you, Carrie. I haven't seen the video, so I don't know.
He burns the American flag a lot in it.
You haven't even seen it.
I watched it.
You did watch it.
I was watching it with the sound off.
America first! America first!
Is that the best way to watch it?
I think so.
America first! America first! You heard that before?
I mean, that's not to interrupt
Well, I got
the
a break.
show.
Mary, go out and smooch your boyfriend out there in the
he's
suite.
gone.
Well, you still got money and sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah,
out
Ask
there.
them if he
I'm
caught
not
any
asking
flies.
anything.
No,
Why don't you
ask the
ask him, Bill?
people.
Why don't you
that are
ask him?
out
Why
there.
don't you go up to him and say, hey, do you approve of Jason Aldean burning flags and see how stupid
Oh,
you
he
look?
is still out there.
Go ahead, ask him then.
I will.
Yeah, go ahead. See how that makes Carletta feel out there.
America first! America first!
All right, I got to take a break. You want to text 35192? I'll have another $1,000 for you. 3:30, that next keyword, to get $1,000 from the Buzzard bookie. And after the break, you want to join us on the return of the Alan Cox Show cruise. Captain Fun's Floating Fandango. We're going out end of next month, and a couple of passes for you coming up.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app.